This channel will have two sides to it, suspenseful creepypastas and true creepy stories. The other side will be advice. Yes, this might seem a little bipolar, but both are things I am interested in. If I say I don't have permission to use a story or thread off of Reddit, it is because I could not contact them. Please note that I am rehashing the creepy stories for entertainment and in some cases to educate and reassure people. Therefore, I understand that the original poster may ask to have the work removed from my channel. If that is the case and you are offended, I will remove it within 24 hours, unless I am literally unable to receive the complaint or have no access to a computer. I do hope to post 2 types of the videos each day, which means 2 videos total, one for the darker creepy stories and the other for advice. Creepy true stories might be featured a little more than the advice since I need reader feedback for it. In a few months, I plan on making a countdown for the creepy videos in each category, so please like the ones you want to vote for. It makes the poll work. My Reoccurring Nightmare by Hartio Hanzo 90. So I've been having this dream since I was 9 years old. I'm now 24. In this dream, everything is vast whiteness, no sound, and nobody or objects around, just peaceful and white. After a while, a tiny dot appears in the distance. The dot starts to get bigger, and I hear the faintest sound. As the dot gets bigger, the sound gets louder, and then suddenly I zoom into whatever the dot is, and the sound is frightening and loud. Like someone screaming in my ears, a blood-curdling scream or screech. And that's when I wake up, soaked in sweat and sometimes crying. And I can never remember what the dot was when I wake up, but I'm always distracted for the rest of the night. Has anyone ever had a similar experience? Yesada D. My recurring dream has similar aspects, but is more of a feeling. Everything is similarly vast, and the world is at peace. Then suddenly the sky falls flat, crushing everything. What follows is an overwhelming sense of dread that everything has gone wrong. It often wakes me up into a half-sleep, half-awake state where I wander the house trying to escape this feeling. When I was younger, I used to wander downstairs and around the house. Now that I am 27, I usually wander into the bathroom, then back to bed. Queen takes bishop. I wonder if it's like that for a baby coming into the world, after having spent months nestled inside a relatively quiet and safe feeling place. Could the dream be some kind of memory of the trauma of birth? Hatazura Hanzo, 90. It is possible. Dan Yiddish. I get almost exactly the same thing. All I see is a huge white emptiness with an infinitely small black or gray cube in the distance. The small cube grows continuously until it is a huge mess of darkness, obliterating the light, destroying the nothingness, and then it is back to nothing, instantly. Unlike you, I don't wake up the first time. It happens over and over again, and when I wake up, I am overwhelmed with fear. It used to happen quite often, but when I would wake up almost as soon as it started. I told my parents about it, and my dad told me that what I needed to do was to let it happen all the way through, see it to the end. I took his advice the next time it happened, and it stopped happening as often. Now when it does happen, I no longer get the strong sense of destruction, and it does not disturb me. I hope my dad's advice helps you. Just try not to be afraid, and watch it to try to find out what's really happening. Make it new. Not a night terror by definition, but I was plagued by a similar sort of dream when I was a kid. I would be walking through the air somehow, maybe on a bridge, dream logic. And the sky around me was baby blue, and there was little white spots everywhere, like how a snowy day might be illustrated in a children's book. Then the scenery would switch to this ominous volcanic activity type of situation, where the ground was gushing and moving, and where lava was brewing underneath. Pretty random and innocuous, but it produced this feeling that would stay with me all through the next day. This really uncomfortable feeling. As I was walking along the bridge in the dream, I would get the feeling that something really, really terrible was happening somewhere. However, I didn't know what it was, and when I woke up, I would be on edge and very frightened. Every once in a while, even to this day, I get that same feeling of dread, and it makes me want to shrivel up into a little ball and hide forever. Spooky stuff. Dribble Queef. Reading this reminded me of a dream I used to get frequently. I haven't experienced it in a few years now, but when I did, there was a pitch-black nothingness and a copper glimmer far ahead. The glimmer would make its way toward me, getting faster and louder. Before I knew it, every direction I looked, gears were closing in on me until there was nothing but gears and the noise. The feeling it gave me was a deep sense of impending death. I would wake up in a cold sweat. I even woke up screaming a couple times. I was about 6 when these dreams started, and I was about 20 the last time I had one. I still don't really know what to make of it. If you're interested, Carl Jung dedicated a significant part of his career exploring humanity's relation to symbols. I read his work, Man and His Symbols, in college a couple of years ago and enjoyed it. The basic premise is that our unconscious is expressing itself most clearly during our dream states, when our consciousness quiets down and we don't have all the external stimuli. Maybe there's something in your mind that you are running away from. Maybe you're denying a part of your awareness and it is trying to make itself known. I suggest, like someone else in the comments, that you try to accept whatever it is that's coming your way in the dream. Explore the thing. I think it's your mind trying to show you something. Also, dreammods.com, which will be featured in the description box below, kicks ass. You search keywords like white, peace, scream, whatever else you can glean from your dreams, and it will give you really interesting interpretations for those symbols. Curadot. Whoa, I've been trying to find an answer for this for so long, but so far still unsolved. I used to have regular night terrors when I was a kid, and nowadays I rarely get them, but I'm starting to sleepwalk/talk now. These night terrors always have the same theme. It's always me facing something so impossibly big, too huge, too massive to even be on Earth, and I get extremely overwhelmed and crushing fear, and when I wake up, it takes so long for the feeling to go away. That something varies sometimes. It's my father sometimes, it's numbers, and sometimes a random giant. I'm concerned now because of these dreams are starting to appear when I'm taking short naps or sometimes even when I rest my eyes for a while. And the debilitating fear is there again. Does this have something to do with my panic disorder? LOL. But right now I'm pretty healthy, mentally and physically. Virgie. Question. What is the difference between a night terror and regular nightmares? I suffer from both nightmares and sleep paralysis every now and then, but I still don't understand what a night terror is. I used to have a recurring dream about death when I was much younger. I died a lot in dreams, but the dream didn't end there. I felt like I was being pulled violently into this vast open space. Wherever I looked, I saw static. There was also this ever-present static screaming noise. It was deafening, and no matter what I did, I couldn't shut it out, as it grew louder and louder. I also lost the ability to breathe, and I slowly felt myself suffocating as I fought for a breath that would never come. Then, just when I was about to pass out, I feel myself being pulled through the void. Space suddenly distorts around me, as if I am sucked through a black void. The force is so strong that I almost feel myself rip apart into pieces. Then blackness. A few moments passed, and I wake up inside a new dream. A night terror is when you act out your nightmare instead of just suffering alone in your sleep. You will most likely have no memory of anything you said or did during the terror. When I was 10, I told my dad that I loved him, and I'm going to have to kill him. My family rarely ever told me when I had a night terror, but I heard about that one the next day. Everyone seemed to be looking at me out of the corner of their eye, or not at all. I know you can pick any YouTuber to watch, so I just want to thank you for picking one of my videos. Hope it didn't scare you to death.